All right, what is up, y'all? It is March 13th, Wednesday. Guys, I've made several videos. I always get interrupted or something, and I don't get them uploaded or whatever. But coming off the heels of 299, I don't know if I got kind of my reaction one uploaded or not. But I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about Dustin porier and like mental health in general. So after this weekend, Dustin won. Dustin was going into that fight. Dustin wasn't the favorite for whatever reason. So if you put yourself in his shoes, to him, that would seem like the masses, the fans, etc., don't think he's going to win. And in addition to that, you started seeing a lot of people asking him about retirement. So that can be really challenging, especially given the fact that I think he's a little younger than me. I think he's like 33. I could be wrong. He's somewhere around there, though, I'm pretty sure. In addition to that, is kind of there was 4 months there where he doesn't know what he's going to do. As in, he doesn't know, he can't get a fight booked. He's kind of at a weird spot in the division, sort of like Max Holloway. It's like he already lost for the belt, so you can't just keep feeding him to the belt. And then if he lost this upcoming one, he was really unsure of what he could have done. And sorry, I guess I didn't give much context. It was a typical interview with Dustin when Ariel interviewed him this Monday. And then just out of nowhere, he started getting a little more detailed towards the end, and Ariel was kind of pressed for time. Like, this is 25 minutes into the interview, he started opening up about this and how dark his thoughts were getting and everything. And it's like, it wasn't even just a depression in which he might not fight again, which he confirmed to Ariel. He's like, was it so bad you were thinking about not fighting again? And he was like, yeah. He was like, it was actually worse than that. So, we're talking about he had, suicidal thoughts probably. I don't think anyone ever really spends the time to acknowledge, I don't know if I want to say appreciate or just recognize the challenges that exist in the fight community in the sense of this. I've been wanting to make a video about headgear here lately. Sorry, I gotta fix my drinker. It's gonna fall over, I feel like. So, in my local community, not many people wear headgear. I'm in rural town, Arkansas, so I'm sure that's not surprising. Part of why, well, anywhere you go, you're gonna hear, sorry, I had stuff on my screen now. You're gonna hear, it's kind of like a macho thing to not wear your headgear. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that safety thing. But then, here's where that's bullshit. When they put it on and they have to wear it, like say you go to a high-end gym where you have to wear headgear because that's what they do at real talented places, they're going to bitch and complain the whole time how it's uncomfortable, how they can't see. So these macho tough guys that don't need to wear the proper safety gear literally bitch and whine like kids because it doesn't fit comfortably or they can't quite see. That's not a tough guy approach at all. That's actually, you're a fucking pussy. That's really what it is. You want to act like you can fight, but you can't even wear something on your head while you do it. Come on, man. All right. So to take that for an example of this tough guy approach in fighting, if someone in the UFC were to back out of a fight due to contract negotiations or something, Dana is notorious for, and I've said this before, he'll be like, they don't really want to fight. Did it a lot on Francis. Now he's really taking a jab at Francis after he lost this past weekend, which is bullshit. Because of that, and because Dana's been able to get away with that for so long, and anyone who challenged him is looking like an outcast because everyone wants to kiss Dana's ass, you have this macho-ness you have to portray in the UFC for no fucking reason. So, if Dustin were to have come out and said, I got to back out of this fight, I got to take care of my mental health, he would have been ridiculed all over the fucking world. All the fans would have completely dog shit on him. Dana would have dog shit on him. Everyone would have dog shit on him. When he clearly can get out there and perform and do it all, but if he would have chose to put his mental health first, he would have been shit on. That is just so wrong on so many levels. We would say didn't really want to fight. He really wanted to fight fucking 6 months ago. He was trying to book fights. Y'all didn't have a fight for him. I also see this issue here, this macho-ness in fighting. One, if you train with me, you'll hear me talk about how it limits the growth of the sport. Like, no one's going to want to train with people that act like that. I've witnessed it 1,000 times. You see it in the community clearly. People don't want to train with partners who think that they're tough, and usually the ones that think that they're tough totally suck anyways. But it's off-putting to the growth of the sport. So, how can I explain this? Because of macho-ness and stuff like this, you've got people like Ian Gary doing the things they do. Someone goes and gets a DWI or gets pulled over and is completely embarrassed for themselves, and then he takes their personal life and puts it on a shirt. And then his personal relationship with his wife is brought into the forefront because he's going after that. Like, it's like a continuous cycle. And think about the shit Dustin had to deal with Conor. No one puts enough emphasis on the fact Conor was literally threatening Dustin that he was going to pay $1 million to get him killed by someone in the mob. And that was a serious situation, and no one did anything about it, including the UFC. And the whole time, Conor's running around saying his wife's in his DMs and all this personal stuff that would completely infuriate you. But Dustin has enough integrity that he won't go and attack a bus with a dolly like Conor did. But then Conor's never really punished for any of these behaviors. It seems entertaining and macho-y and all this. And it's just fucking wrong. It's just fucking wrong. I don't even know if I have a resolution for this video. Dustin Poirier is one of the most classy and giving back fighters there is. I've personally been to the Good Fight. Several of my teammates and friends and coaches, they've been to the Good Fight. I see it across the country. The charity events that he does, the way he raises money and donates to charity, just his personality and the way he talks and everything and holds himself. He's an exemplary role model, a member of his community and country, as we can't say that about other fighters. And then, I don't know, it just really sucks that someone like that goes through that mental health. And also when Ariel said, how did you get through this? And he was talking about coping mechanisms he's come up with. He starts his day with a walk where he tries to clear his thoughts. And he had a couple other things he listed off. And then he talked about people helping him. He's like, some of my sponsors helped me, some of my friends helped me, and then he really gave credit to his wife. You never hear about the UFC helping him. And that is fucking heartbreaking to me. So, to give you an example, I was able to utilize therapy through my employer for free. I had 5 or 6 sessions for free, and you get them every so often. And this is basically an employee assistance program, and it's at most big businesses. There's some form of this. I don't know how to explain what I'm wanting to say. Because of the macho-ness in this fighting thing, Dustin couldn't have even gone to the UFC and said anything and asked for help and gotten serious help. They've never once in the entire time of this talked about getting a fighter, a sports psychologist, or a counselor. It's so stupid. Even in the NFL, sports psychologists have been proven to help performance. Not only the suicide and shit, it helps performance to gather your thoughts and everything and stay centralized. I don't know. That really bothered me. I wanted to get it off my chest. So I guess in conclusion, it sucks that Dustin Porier was feeling like that. I hope he gets to feeling better. If you're a fan of his, you should send him a message. And it probably feels like, hey, he's not going to see that. He might not, and he might. You would be surprised by the amount of messages I've sent to people that seem out of reach, and then I end up in conversations with them, and now I can conversate with them about any time I want. Send him a message and be like, hey, man, I hope you're doing good. One I'm going to send him and be like, dude, if you want a stranger to talk to sometime, here, feel free to hit my DMs. But imagine if Dustin opened up his Instagram and he had 5,000 messages of his fans being like, hey, man, I got you. If you need someone to talk to, I got you. Here's a therapist that I use if you want. Just anything of support. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if this video sparked that. I know it's probably not going to. I'll probably get 3 views, but I sure tried. But yeah, that's the conclusion of my video. Let's try to help Dustin out and let him know that we care. Yeah, man, I love making these videos up as I go. I didn't have that idea in my head when I started. I was just going to kind of complain. But, all right, final conclusion of the video. We're all going to send Dustin Porier a message, and we're going to tell him we love him, and if he needs some help, he can reach out to any of us. Yeah, this is the War Lab. We're big-time players, make big-time plays, and we do some big things every round, baby. We make that Tootsie roll.